Okay, so we are continuing our discussion about ways of modifying the underlying templates, document skins in DocuTool 7. In a prior tutorial, we discussed method 1, document-only customizations, where you make changes to the style sheet for the currently open document, but not affecting the underlying template or skin attached to it. In this tutorial, we're going to go over method 2, simple template customization. And here is where we're going to actually open the template file itself and make modifications to the style sheet. What that means is the changes to that style sheet will be reflected in all future new documents that are based on that template. So we'll go ahead and launch DocuTool 7. So this is the DocuTool 7 starter, and the starter lists on the left here the available skin files available to us to author in. To understand how template files or skin files work, let's just take a look here at our list of skins here. Each of these is a DOTX file. That's a Word template file. Each one of these is an available skin or template to author in. And the best way to understand this is by showing you. So let's start by simply creating a new DocuTools document using the DocuTools DOTX skin. So here we are with a new blank DocuTools 7 document. And as we discussed in part 1 of this series, you can see all of the available DocuTools styles for me to author in. If we go to Support and go to Attached Skin, you'll see under Document Template, it shows us the skin file or template file attached to this document. And as you can see, it's my DocuTools skins docutools.dotx, which is the file that we launched from. And as we discussed in part 1, any changes to this style sheet would remain only with this document. We're not changing the actual template itself for future documents. So let's go ahead and close this. To make changes to the actual template file itself, for any one of these skins, you right-click on the skin and you have some options. You can rename it, you can make a copy of it, you can modify it, or you can remove it. It's best practice to duplicate an existing skin just in case you make changes that you're not happy with, or for whatever reason you want to be able to go back to the original. It's best to make a duplicate copy of it. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, so we have our DocuTools copy. And just to illustrate how this works, I'll go ahead and select DocuTools copy, and I'm going to right-click and select Modify. And when we do that, we still have a blank document. Notice that DocuTools copy.dotx is open. It no longer says document 1. So that means that we actually have the template file itself open. And to prove that, if we go back to our attach skin function, you'll see that there's nothing here because we are in the template itself. There is no template attached to this. And just like before though, we have our style sheet. These are all the styles that are used in the template. So let's go ahead and change a style in this template file. First thing I'm going to do is create a new topic. And I'll enter a topic title. Just as we did in part 1 of this series, to make the customizations to the template file that I want, the first thing I'm going to do is make the changes as I want them in the document itself. So I'm going to take the topic title, And maybe I'll make it red. Maybe I'll change the typeface. Maybe I'll make it a little bit larger. Okay. And as you can see, as I make those changes are reflected in the style sheet. And similarly with a subtopic, maybe I want to make that blue and a little bit larger and maybe a different font. So here we are. So these, if I save this file right now, if I simply hit Control S or hit File Save, these changes will become permanent to this skin, to this template file. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm hitting Control S, and I'm going to close this. Let's relaunch our starter. So if we create a new document from DocuTools Copy by just clicking OK, you'll see that we now have document 1. So we have a regular document. We're not in the template file any longer. And interesting, notice that because we left text inside the template file, that text is now showing up here by default. We'll talk more about that later. That's actually something that you can use to your advantage when you're creating document shells and instructions to authors and things like that. But anyway, as you can see in the style sheet, those changes hold. So now to confirm that our changes to the skin are stored, we'll go ahead and delete this content and insert a new topic. And as you can see, the changes we made to those two headings are now stored. And will be stored for all other documents that are created based on this skin.